Hey guys, and welcome to my Commander Zilyana aka Saradomin guide. This is the fourth and final Gold Rush Dungeon 1 boss guide, and I hope you guys find this video helpful and enjoy. So the requirements are 70 plus agility to access the boss room, 70 plus gear and stats. I won't go into too much depth into like gear and gear setups. Just use the best gear you have in either melee or magic, depending on which style you prefer. And of course you need to have the Gold Rush Dungeon unlocked. As for useful items to bring or have, a beast of burden is very useful to just bring extra food so that you can last longer. This is especially useful if you're lower level and have a low defense, and therefore you'll be taking more damage, so you'll be needing more food. A Blood Fury, which is basically a free shark every kill, which kind of like heals you like Soul Split, and you get this by combining a Blood Shard and an Amulet of Fury. The Vampirism and Penance auras are also very useful. One heals you like Soul Split for the damage you do, and the other gives you prayer points for the damage you do. Curses are obviously also very useful, especially Torment and Turmoil. Soul Split is viable here, so if you do have it, you can use it. And Overloads are a good thing to bring as well. Unless you of course don't have the herbal level, then just use super or grand potions you can buy from the Grand Exchange. And if you have a Shard of Zaros, bring that, because then the minions won't attack you. Or you can bring a Saradomin arrow, which you can buy from the Grand Exchange. Unless of course you want the minions to be aggro to you, then don't bring anything. Personally, I hate putting inventory setups in guides because everybody has their own kind of thing they want to use or setup they usually use. But for the people that actually really don't know what to bring, this is a general example for both magic and melee. But of course, if you want to make it different, just switch it up however you like, to your own preferences of course. So yeah, let's move on. Now if you don't know how to get there, just teleport to Trollheim and follow the video. If you do not have the teleport to Trollheim unlocked, that means you haven't completed Edgar's Ruse, and therefore you will need to walk there with rock climbing boots. If you really don't know how to get there with rock climbing boots, go to one of my other bossing guides like the Armadillo AFK guide and follow the video there, because I do not want to keep including this in every guide because it will just make the video so much longer, and it doesn't need to be that long. Now you get kill count by going to the east and killing the spiritual priests and warriors. They do require a 3 Slayer, and you do not have to enter Saradomin encampment to get KC, but you can if you want to. Now when you have 40 KC or kill count, just move to the boss room and make an instance. Then put it on fastest. Why, you may ask? Well, then you can get more drops and experience per hour. And with an instance, you can't be crashed by anyone because it's your own instance. Here's a magic kill without the Blood Fury and a Vampirism aura and Subjugation equipped with a tier 87 staff. As you can see, it isn't too hard, but I have to use food sometimes, depending on how hard Saradomin hits. You can counter this by using Debilitate or Praying Magic with the hard hitting abilities, and then pressing on Devotion if you have that ability unlocked. Here's a magic kill with me without a Blood Fury and just a Vampirism aura, and as you can see I struggle a bit more than with Soul Split. You'll be using a lot more food if you do it this way. Here's a kill with melee with Soul Split, and as you can see I actually struggle quite a bit, so I'll be using quite some food. And this isn't very AFK if you're using melee, unless you're using max gear, and then you can actually just AFK, because with higher tier weaponry and higher tier armor, you can just, heal it all back. And with higher tier weaponry, I mean a Noxious Scythe and maybe Tetsu or Malevolent. Here's a melee kill with the Magic Prayer, and as you can see I still struggle a bit and I use some food. That's because I'm using Bandos, which is actually mid-tier armor, but still, the way you basically last longer here is either use a shield and then resonance switch every now and then, which is also a way of healing back instead of using food, using a Blood Fury at all times, and of course Debilitate and Devotion while praying magic. And I'd recommend using Debilitate around the mid-kill, because this is when Saradomin does the most damage. Now I know this guide is pretty short, but I always strive to make the shortest guides, and therefore telling you guys the most amount of information in the shortest amount of time possible. Why, you may ask? Well, I know a lot of people have a very short attention span, and that's why I do it. So I hope you guys find this video helpful, once again, and if you like guides or want more, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.